welcome to the Triple Threat Podcast. I am Mikai. I'm a freshman. I go to Florida Atlantic University.
I'm Donald. I'm a freshman. I go to Syracuse University.
I'm Preston. I'm a freshman. I go to University of Illinois Washington.
So this is the first episode of the Triple Threat Podcast. Me, Donald, and Preston, we are lifelong friends. We have a passion for sports. We're going to talk about a lot of sports, mainly basketball, mainly the NBA, mainly the NFL. In this episode, we're going to get straight into the NFL. We're in the heart of the NFL season, and we're going to have one major question for today. Is who is the most dangerous NFL team in each conference, and what's a dark horse team that you could think could really make a run in each conference? Donald, let's start with you. Who is your most dangerous team in both conferences?
All right. Actually, let's just start on the AFC. We'll go AFC for both. My most dangerous team in the AFC, it's the Chiefs. Look, you can say all you want about the Colts being 7-1. You can say all you want. The Chiefs are still the best team in the AFC, and it's not glaze at all because the Chiefs are just this is the worst start to the Patrick Mahomes era. Yeah, even his rookie year. They are 5-3 and just getting Rashee Rice back. This team is very, 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 very good. They're hitting their stride. They had the early struggles, which you can blame on anything. They had the early struggles, but they are clearly over that hump. They are playing some of the best football. They had a Sunday night football victory versus the Lions. And they play the Colts in a few weeks. They have the Bills next week, so if they beat the Bills, that'll be also another huge win. But, I mean, it's just Patrick Mahomes is probably having his best season ever. I know he threw for 50 touchdowns in a season, but this is probably his best season ever. Travis Kelce looks good. Rashee Rice is back. That looks good. I don't know who their rookie is. Mikai, who's their rookie that you like a lot?
He's
Running back. The running back.
Rashard Smith.
Rashard
Smith.
He looks good. I just think that this is Patrick Mahomes' era, and the Chiefs are always going to be the best team in the AFC. The Colts have been great. I'm not saying that. I'm also looking at the fact that the Colts are also not having a lot of playoffs. Daniel Jones did win a playoff game, but I don't know the last time the Colts made the playoffs and won a game. So I'm going with the Chiefs just strictly off of they've been there before, they're hitting their stride, and they didn't peak too early. I'm worried that the Colts are going to peak too early and have a downfall like the Eagles because they're playing red hot right now. I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to be scoring 3 touchdowns a game for the rest of the year. Teams are going to start learning ways to stop their deep offense. So I just think that the Chiefs right now are still the most dangerous team in the AFC.
I also am going to go with the Chiefs as the most dangerous team. Listen, they've got the best quarterback in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is still that good. He's having one of the best statistical seasons of his career. I know a lot of people want Baker Mayfield to be in the MVP conversation. I know a lot of people want Dak Prescott. But honestly, he's running away with it. I think the only other person that has a bit of an MVP candidacy to me are the running backs, and Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey. Yep. But a running back's not winning MVP, let's be real. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes, barring him falling off a cliff for the rest of the year. So we're doing it without a decent run game. Pacheco's averaging like 3 or 4 yards per carry. He hasn't been.
And now he's hurt.
Hunt is getting a few stops a game. Pacheco's hurt. Rashard Smith, I like Rashard Smith. He's a really good kid. But I don't know if he is the future of that run game. But the reason they're going to win is because there is no team I consistently trust the pass game more. Rashee Rice, one of the best receivers in football, was having a great year. Tore his ACL, got extra time to come back after the suspension, has played incredible football. Worthy, one of the fastest players in the NFL. There's no catch he can't make. There's no guy he can't beat off the line. Kelce is having a down year, and he still just caught his 100th career touchdown. Yeah. He's still catching like 5 for 50 a game. You got Hollywood Brown there. You got Juju there. He's making plays. The defense is my main worry. I think that if the Chiefs are to lose, it'll be because of the defense. And it'll be because of their pass rush. That's the only big struggle I see with the Chiefs. Chris Jones, he's having a down year. Obviously, we saw that playing against Jacksonville where he slipped and couldn't tackle Trevor Lawrence. They don't have a pass rusher. They don't have an elite pass rusher. I thought George Karlaftis was going to step into that role. He's been not there at some point this year. They drafted Amar Norman Lott, but he hasn't been there. And if they make a move, they could make a move for pass rushers. They're going to need a pass rusher. But the secondary is great. McDuffie, I think he's probably CB1 or CB2 behind Sertan at this point. They are the best team in football, in my opinion, and they are the most dangerous team in the
This is
Let's hear
hard
it,
because I
Preston.
haven't really. Ah, man, I hate to say it, but yeah, it's the Chiefs. It's the
Yeah, I
Chiefs.
mean
It has
it
to be the
is.
Chiefs. If I look at the teams in the NFC, I feel like a lot of them are just cut and dry what they are. If any team has the highest potential, it should be the Eagles. They should be playing better. But you can't beat Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is simply the best quarterback in the NFL. He's been that way for years. Um, he's just incredible. I believe this is his greatest. This is going to be his greatest season ever. Apart
Wow.
from his 50 touchdown season. Um, I, this is the best you're going to see him as, and we're actually watching him hit his prime currently, and to see what he's doing with the talent that he has, I can't imagine what they do if they got a guy of the caliber of um hate to say it, but if they got a guy the caliber of I don't know Amon-Ra St. Brown, if they got a DJ
I
Moore
think
type
Rice
of
is on
player,
that level. I
yeah.
think Rice
If
is
they
better
got
than
no,
DJ Moore.
if they got another DJ Moore type of player, a guy that can be second to Rashid Rice, who's
Yeah.
gonna get paid a lot of money soon. Um, and then yeah, that's when it gets kind of scary because it's been a few years since Mahomes has Tyreek. When was the last
Yeah.
time Tyreek was a Chief? It's been a few years, and
2022. Yeah, 3
and he
years.
has a ring. He has a ring. He has a ring. I wouldn't be surprised if Tyreek forces his way back to the Chiefs, but
I really think if Hill
um,
didn't get injured, he would be a Chief right now.
Me too.
he
Yeah.
should be. He should be. It's a bad decision by him. It was a bad decision by him, really. Just going after the money.
I think
He
that
wanted his paycheck.
I do agree with the Chiefs.
Mm,
I am kind of worried because I heard Dexter Lawrence might be on the trade block, and I heard KC and the Ravens supposed to be very aggressive in that department. Um,
Actually,
I
Lawrence, Chris Jones. Oh my God.
I will say I do want to transition to the next topic, but I will say I do agree with Preston. I think Rashi Rice and Xavier Worthy are like the same player. They're both yard after catch guys. I think the Chiefs need a real
yeah.
down the field threat like a DJ Moore because they're just Rashi Rice and Xavier Worthy are both yard after catch, 5 yard out merchants. They're going to break a guy in tackle because
Hmm.
they're going to break a guy in open field because of their speed. I do think they should be aggressive and go get some downfield guy. I don't know who's available. Like
Kelsey's
maybe
a
if
downfield guy.
I know, but like they need a real guy down the sidelines. Like Kelsey's over the middle. I want someone down the sideline who Mahomes can hit in a deep ball or like a deep post. Like maybe Tyquan Thornton can elevate them to that. I don't know what they have,
Icon.
but
He was balling, and then he got out the rotation.
he was. But overall,
Hmm.
I think it's a consensus from us that the Chiefs are the scariest team in the AFC.
In terms of dark horse, though, I'm going a different path. Listen, 1-4 start. You know, this was the best team in football last year. It was the best team in football last year, and we have harped on the defense. But if you look at the Ravens' last two games, I believe they allowed 17 to the Rams. That's an elite offense, and they allowed
16.
16 to the Bears, who are a good football team. They're turning it around. They're turning it around at the perfect time. And I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens as my dark horse team. I think they will be a playoff team, whether it's the wild card or the division winners. I think they're gonna make it. I think Lamar is gonna turn this team around. Derrick Henry's playing better football. Zay Flowers is still there. Andrews is still there. They are a good football team. I don't think the 1-4 start reflects the Baltimore Ravens as a team. And if you look at the schedule, Ravens lost
Our
possibly
schedule is so
until
easy.
December. We have Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, the Jets, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Bengals, the Patriots. The Ravens shouldn't lose a game till nearly Christmas. They shouldn't lose a game till Christmas. If they want to be serious about this, they shouldn't lose the game to Christmas. And I honestly don't think they will. Maybe that Steelers game on the 7th, but I don't think they will lose a game until they play New England. I think they're going to be back. This team is going to go on a run just like they did last year. The defense is going to play better. They still have Kyle Hamilton. Nate Wiggins has been one of the best young corners in football. They are a good football team. And I know people were cheering fire Harbaugh, but I think you're going to have to wait another year because I think they're going to do something special in the second half of the year. And they're my dark horse team.
Preston, who you got?
I have to say them. I have to talk about them. My football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, they should not be a dark horse roster. They should not.
Preston,
They
AFC.
are
AFC dark horse.
AFC dark horse.
Yeah, AFC.
AFC dark horse? Oh, then it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs.
Dark
I can't
horse?
be anything but the Chiefs. And I'll say dark horse why? Because literally, if anybody should be winning the trophy this year, Lombardi, it's the Bills. This should be their year. This should have been their year.
Okay.
This should be their year. And the Bills aren't acting like the Chiefs. You're supposed to act like the Chiefs if the Chiefs aren't what they are, right? You have a guy, Josh Allen, that's on Patrick Mahomes' level, right? But then I look at the Chiefs, so I'm like, they're acting like the Chiefs still, right? And you're not taking advantage of this? I mean, Drake May is right on your tail. Like, come on. He's right on your tail. But the Chiefs are the dark horse of the NFL because no matter what, they're always in it. It's literally the same. You just have to get Patrick Mahomes to the playoffs. You just have to get him to the playoffs. That's all you have to do. Because Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes. And I wouldn't be surprised again if they bring somebody in during that deadline, right? They shore up the pass rush. Go all out for a guy like maybe even Trayvon Walker. Go out and get Trayvon Walker from the Jags. Try to get maybe one of the guys off the who could they get? I honestly think that they could probably find a way to get
Dexter Lawrence.
Extra. They need their picks for the
Carl
future.
Granderson. Grando would be crazy on the Chiefs.
And in my opinion, if somebody can get to the Chiefs, if one big player were to go to the Chiefs, it would be maybe Tyreek Hill. They'd find a way to get him back. Or maybe even, I don't like to say it, but get me a guy like, somewhere along the lines of CeeDee Lamb.
Maybe an AJ Brown?
What? Maybe an AJ Brown?
Somewhere along the lines of AJ Brown. Somewhere along the lines of trading up as far as possible to get a high first round pick in the next 2 years to go looking after. Like, hey, Jeremiah Smith. 2 years from now.
Jeremiah Smith and Patrick Mahomes.
And Patrick Mahomes. So the Chiefs they don't have a shelf life as long as Patrick Mahomes is their QB, and that's why they're dark horse. Because, in my opinion, this should be the Bills' year. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? So yeah,
I'm gonna get flamed for this because I know they're gonna be round one exits. I know they are, but the Chargers are my dark horse.
I knew it. No, stop it. No.
We do this every year.
We do this every year. We do it every year, Donald.
We do this every year. We do this every year. But this is why. The pressure is off for them to win the division now. The Broncos and Chiefs have been better so far. That's my first point. That's just true. The Broncos are 6-2. The Chiefs are 5-3 and playing better football. That's true. We can both agree on that. This puts the Chargers in a less pressure scenario because they don't have the media on them because of the Chiefs not being as good, because the Broncos being 6-2. I think Justin Herbert with Joe Alt has taken a huge step. And this year, I like their receiving core. Aronde, Syracuse, right here. Aronde looks incredible. He looks absolutely incredible. Right now, Quentin Johnson didn't even play a snap versus the Vikings. They put up 34 points. He was our leading receiver heading into the game. Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, and Aronde are all perfect. They are playing great football, and this gives them depth, which they didn't have. They had depreciating access with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen in previous years who have just been hurt. And then last year, I think they literally only had Ladd in the playoff game to throw the ball to. Like, you had tight ends, but, like, I think this is now they're better. And also, their running back room is very, very, very good. I really like Vidal as a backup to Hampton. Even when Hampton comes back, I'd like them splitting time. I did read a report that they are going to be aggressive in trading with a running back. So maybe they go get like an Alvin Kamara or someone else. I'm just saying,
Hey,
hey, I'm just saying, just as an example. But maybe they go get a running back of that caliber to bring in to for another back. I think their defense is also playing very, very well at this point in the season too. I mean, the first week of the season, what Patrick Mahomes had like gave 12 points to Patrick Mahomes in Brazil, something like that. I don't know what the score was. But I think their defense is also playing really, really well to the point where I'm still a believer. I believe in Justin Herbert. I'm putting my stock in. I think this is the year that they get past the first round and maybe even contend for the AFC Championship game. I really, really like what I'm seeing from the Chargers right now.
what's that one Mike Tomlin clip? Yeah, I know that ain't happening.
I know. I really, really, really do think this is the year. I don't know what it is, but I know we keep saying this, but I think this is the best team that Justin Herbert has been a part of, especially now that Joe Alt's back. When Joe Alt was injured, I was like, yeah, no, I'm out. This team stinks. When Joe Alt came back, there was a significant, and I mean significant difference in the team. You can tell.
They're
You can just
undefeated
tell.
in games he started.
Exactly. And that's my point. Their O-line is so much better than it was last year. I think this is the Chargers year.
I don't for a few reasons. One, I want to say it. Justin Herbert is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Justin Herbert is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback unless he was in a Jalen Hurts situation where he had the best running back in football. And Amaya Hampton is not that.
You're pissing Preston
So,
off with that. I can see. Look at
Herbert
Preston's
on his
face.
own consistently not made the throws he needed to make to win. I would not put any of the Chargers' playoff losses on him specifically, but last year he threw 3 interceptions. In the game they blew to the Jaguars all those years, he did not move the ball when it was time to move the ball. So I'm not saying that they were completely his fault, but he does void some responsibility.
Bro,
And
you're gonna blame the Jags game on him. His defense allowed 33 unanswered points. He scored 30 points
and
in
he
a
had
game.
multiple chances to
30
get the
points
to
is
put the
more
ball
than
back
enough.
and get first downs and clutch that
No,
game.
no, 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 no.
But I
30
don't think
points.
Herbert's the
Three
reason.
picks. Three picks.
I don't think Herbert's the reason why the Chargers won't win. I don't think. I don't even think it's the offense. I think it's the defense. It's not a great defense. It's just not a high level defense. You stop Carson Wentz, and I'm supposed to believe you're an elite defense? No, you're not. You're not an elite unit. You have Khalil Mack. He's still playing well. Pass rush is pretty nice. Where are the corners? The secondary is not good. They traded Lohai Gilman. They got Ofuade Ofe from the Ravens, and that improved their pass rush. But the secondary is not good. And when you get in the playoffs, you're going to have to play Bo Nix in the Broncos. You're going to have to play Drake May. You're going to have to play Patrick Mahomes. You are going to need an elite secondary. There's no team that will win a Super Bowl without an above-average secondary, or even win a playoff game without their secondary playing well. And the Chargers don't have that. They don't have it, and they won't have it for a while. And I cannot see them as contenders if they even make the playoffs, because I don't think they're locked for the playoffs.
All right. Well, that's for the AFC. Let's transition to the NFC. The NFC is an interesting one because there's a lot of good teams right now in the NFC and a lot of teams at 6-2. The best team that I think is in the NFC, and I think they're still underrated. I think it's the Detroit Lions. I think that even though they lost Ben Johnson, even though they lost Aaron Glenn, this is still the same team because they still have Dan Campbell. They are still playing like it's Madden. I think this team is just getting better and better. They've been constantly ravaged with injuries. Last year in the playoffs, we saw what happened. But I mean, this year they are still a very, very good football team. I think they have the best offense in the NFL. I mean, they have guys who can attack you from any angle. Montgomery and Gibbs is still a great duo. Amon-Ra is still insane. They have J-Mo when they need. They still have Sam Laporta. And Jared Goff just needs to be the glue guy in that system, and that's what he needs to be. He doesn't need to go throw 300 yards and 4 touchdowns a game. He doesn't need to be a Patrick Mahomes because they have such a good offense. I think their defense is also very, very good. I'm still really high on Brian Branch, even though he hasn't had a great start to the year. Obviously, he's made a couple mental mistakes as well. Aiden Hutchinson is Aiden Hutchinson is a DPOI candidate. He's still playing out of his mind. He's still the same player from before the gruesome leg injury he had. I think that this Lions team still, because they're led by Dan Campbell, they're still fueled and they are still the best team in the NFC. I think everyone thought the Packers with Micah Parsons would have been, but haven't. I really still think the Lions are better, even though they did beat them in the first week of the year.
I'm gonna go on a bit of a different path for me. I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Rams. Listen, I'm big on Super Bowl pedigree, and the Rams have done it. They've literally done it before. And honestly, I think this Rams team is better than the team that won a Super Bowl. Stafford's playing better football. If you look at his stats now and you look at his stats that year, he's playing better than he was that year. The receiving core, while there's no Odell Beckham, Puka Nacua is just as good as Cooper Kupp was that year. He was on track for a historic season before that injury. And Devontae Adams, this is the best wide receiver two in football, in my opinion. I don't think there's a better wide receiver two in football than
Devontae
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Smith, Preston. Devontae Smith's better. I can see it on his face.
Kyren Williams is a great running back. He's gotta really sort out the fumble issues, but you have Blake for him. You have guys you can sub in. One area on the Rams offense where I was worried is the tight end. It seems like every elite team has an X factor tight end, and the Rams do not have that. But they have this kid Terrence Ferguson, who was dominant at Oregon, and they drafted this guy in the first round. He went and caught a 40-yard touchdown last week, got up and over the defender. They haven't even unlocked that kid yet. This is a really good football team. They had a problem with the secondary. They just got traded for Roger McCree. McCree is a good defender. He gets in. He deflects passes. I mean, they have one of the best pass rushers in football. Byron Young, Jared Verse, Nate Ladman. They got this guy who was just sitting on the Falcons, and he's been one of the best linebackers in football. They got the best coach in the league. Sean McVay, he's had some mistakes this year with some bad calls, but he's a Super Bowl winning coach. He's a great coach, and he's a great play caller. I think if you get the Rams, I mean, if this team was to play Philly last year, I know they lost to Philly this year. If this same Rams team, if they got to replay that game, I think they win. I know they lost to Philly earlier in the season off a dumb block kick. I think the Rams are the most dangerous team in the NFC, and I will see them coming out of the NFC in February.
Preston's ready to explode for like the last 10 minutes. I'm ready to hear what he has to say.
I of course have to talk about my team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
You think they're the best team in the NFC?
They're the best team in the NFC, and they are the best team in the NFL. And I'll say this why. I'll give my reasons.
Whoa!
And I look at it this way: the Eagles are literally on the same path as they were last year. The difference is that this team is significantly younger. And I look at it this way. Our secondary is worse. Our edge rushers are worse, significantly worse. And our D-line as a whole is worse. Everything is worse. Our O-line is worse, right? You lose Cam Jurgens. He's basically injured. Landon Dickerson has been injured. We don't have, oh my gosh. We literally don't have a right guard or a left guard to begin with, right? So Mikai Becton, we took him for granted, how great of a player he was at right guard. And Lane's getting older, and you can't rely on Jordan Mailata for everything. He's only on one side of the offense, on one side of the line, right? And he's the best left tackle in the NFL, but he's on one side of the line, right? And there's still that feeling outside of the Philadelphia Eagles where, yeah, they're going to find a way to win. Always that feeling that they have to find a way to win or they lose dramatically. And I look at this team and I'm just saying, like, they will just find a way, right? They did it against the Rams. They did it literally every game last year.
Not versus Jackson.
They always find a win to win. They always find a way to win. Jalen Hurts is a winner. All right. When you guys were talking about Justin Herbert, oh my God. Justin Herbert is the if man. If man.
Yes, he is. He is.
Justin Herbert is literally, oh my God, I'm sorry to say, he's the Joel Embiid. He's the Joel Embiid of football.
You're slandering your own
guy. Joel Embiid of
You're
football.
slandering your own guy.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Every single time I hear about Justin Herbert, well, Justin Herbert is like 10 times more. 10 times more. Justin Herbert is the most physically gifted quarterback I've ever seen. He's 6'6", massive arm. He can run. He's basically Josh Allen on steroids, right? And that says something, right? But what is he doing? What has he done? Nothing. He's done absolutely nothing outside of having an amazing rookie year. And he finally gets a team around him. Finally has a team around him. And his team is third in his division.
This is the
Third in his division.
dude. He's 5-3, and the other team is 6-2 and 5-3. He's
And
second.
I'm looking at
the
this
Giants.
way.
He's second
They
in the
lost to the
division too.
Giants.
So did the Eagles.
Listen,
Eagles did lose
the
to the
Eagles.
Giants.
I don't want to talk about that. That's completely.
Best win of my life.
That was a different day. I will look at it in this aspect and the way for the Eagles. As long as you have Jalen Hurts, you're going to win. He is the definition of a winner. And as corny as he can be, and as many little, I was the answer before something like some random quote that he does. You have to admit that he's like, he's him at points. Jalen is entering that conversation of where you get him to the playoffs, you know he's gonna win. Right? All you have to do with Jalen is get to the playoffs. He's not Mahomes, he's not Allen, he's not Lamar, he's not Burrow, and he's not Herbert. And he's not even, I don't think he's the caliber of an offensive player that Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, or Dak Prescott are. But the one thing that I know Jalen can do is win me a game. He will win me a game. All right. I can't say that for Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert will throw 3 picks on you. He will cower under pressure. We haven't seen him succumb and beat pressure at all. How am I supposed to trust Justin Herbert in the Chargers for the 8th year in a row? 10th year. Oh my God.
All right.
I just, man, oh my gosh. I can't deal with Justin Herbert. Oh my God.
Look, we didn't have a lot of time in the Zoom, so I do want to transition. But I
Yeah.
will say, the way you're talking about it, Preston, because it's like Jalen Hurts is a system quarterback. you really hurt your Jalen Hurts argument. You said there was 10
He's not
guys.
Mahomes. He's not Allen. He's not
You
Lamar.
basically said he's not a top 10 quarterback, which is fine. You can just confidently say he's a system quarterback, and there's 10 guys.
I'd say he's 8 or 9. I'd say he's 8 or 9.
Okay, well,
I'd say he's 8 or 9.
Dark Horse NFC. We'll talk about Jalen Hurts next episode. We'll do a Jalen Hurts and Eagles discourse because we have to talk about the tush push too. Which
yeah, I'd like to talk about that.
We'll do an Eagles discourse next episode. All right, Dark Horse NFC. Shout out to the Twitch streamer Corb TG. I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
I have the Seattle Seahawks as my dark horse in the NFC. I think that this team is very, very, very good. I think JSN has been the best receiver in football this year. I think they have a nice 1-2 punch of Kyle Williams and Zach Charbonnet. And also, Mike McDaniel has really transformed that defense. I think that defense is the best it's been since
Robert Saleh?
Oh, Robert Saleh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that defense is the best it's been since the Legion of Boom. And I can confidently say that. This defense is insane. I mean, they're just playing. Yeah, that's what I meant. They're just playing absolutely great football. I know they have 3 losses, but honestly, those were really good games, and all of them are close. They held the Texans, and I also think their offense. JSN's insane. And Sam Darnold, so much credit goes out to Sam Darnold. He is playing incredible football. He's exactly what needed. He's playing worth that contract, which a lot of people were uncertain about. I know Connor was too, but he is playing very, very good football right now. JSN, like I said, is amazing. Torrey Horton's good. They have a lot of just guys who can make plays when you need them to. And I think that this Seahawks team is still being underrated. I think people are still saying the Rams are better, which is fair. The 49ers are still up there too. But I just think that this Seahawks team is very, very good. The whole so-called Texans defense that everyone was talking about being elite, they hung 30 points on them on Monday Night Football. That's insane, doing that in primetime. So the Seahawks are my dark horse team to make the NFC Championship and potentially the Super Bowl. Mac, who you got?
I'm going to stay in that division. And I get it. They're insanely injured, but they got Kyle Shanahan. And whenever there's Kyle Shanahan, there's a chance. So I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. Listen, Mac Jones has been great, and I don't want to sell him short, and I truly believe he'll get another chance to start next year. He'll probably get traded. He's still in contract with the 49ers. But Brock Purdy is a starting quarterback. And you can say you're a system quarterback, whatever. Brock Purdy made a Super Bowl. There is a short list of players that have made a Super Bowl. And he made the Super Bowl making big throws. He had to make big throws in that Packers game. He made big throws to get them to the Super Bowl because he is a good quarterback. and he had that toe injury, but he's going to be fully healthy. And let me read you the 49ers schedule. They have the Giants, and they've got the Rams, which they normally always beat the Rams, and they have the Cardinals, Panthers, Browns, Titans, and then Colts, Bears, Seahawks. That's 10 or 11 wins. I see it from them. And you're going to get in the playoffs. Whenever you get in the playoffs, you have a chance. You win your division games. They always do well against Seattle. They always do well against the Rams. And there's a chance they could get one of those teams in the first round of the playoffs. Brock Purdy's going to be back. Christian McCaffrey's having the best year of his career. Juwan Jennings, Kendrick Bourne, Ricky Pearsall. It's not the most beautiful receiving core, but they're catching passes and they're making plays, and that's all you need.
It's true.
George Kittle, best tight end in the game. Best offensive line in the game with Trent Williams. The defense, guys like Tatum Bethune have stepped up playing good football. They're playing good football, and I think they're going to be able to keep playing good football. I know they had their tough loss against the Texans, but this is a good football team. And in terms of dark horse, a team that if they get in, they can. Nobody's going to expect them to, but they can do it. That's the San Francisco 49ers.
Preston?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this quick. I'm gonna keep this as quick as possible. The Packers, going into this season and going out of the off season, I gotta say, bringing in Micah Parsons was a lot. Bringing in Micah Parsons was big. I do believe that the Cowboys will benefit off of that more than the Packers will. But I do like the Packers in the direction they're going, and I like how they're building their roster. I do think coming into next offseason, they need to look at a new wide receiver, bring an alpha wide receiver to that roster, and create a true powerhouse of a team right there. And Josh Jacobs is an exciting player. He's so exciting.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
I will say one more team I want to give a quick shout out to. If they make the right moves at the deadline, look out for the Dallas Cowboys. It's my last team, but their offense, dude, their offense is averaging I don't care what the Broncos need. Their offense is ridiculous. If they can just figure out the defense a little bit, you are not going to want to face that offense in the playoffs. You really want to face George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb with Dak playing like an MVP. That's.
I want to face Dak in the playoffs. Actually, that's the one quarterback.
Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I do want to face Dak.
All right, that's all we have time, everyone, for on episode 1 of the Triple Threat Pod. Next episode, we're going to talk about basketball. We're going to do our predictions up and down for awards for the NBA, and then we're going to do a little bit of Eagles discourse in the NFL because we need to talk about a lot of things, including the tush push over there, Mr. Eagles fan.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching episode 1 of the Triple Threat Podcast. And just like that, we are out.